hopefully you're seeing on my screen now. So yep, Neil here again. I will cover the two supply chain management enhancements that are in preview in 10.04.6. One, which is enhanced supply chain traceability with tracking attributes. And the second one is improved picking efficiency with wrist-mounted scanning devices. These are all still in preview, so I will be providing a high-level review of it, but unable to demonstrate an end-to-end process just yet. So let's jump into the first one. Enhanced supply chain traceability with tracking attributes. So this is part of the inventory and warehouse management modules. It is an expansion into the traceability add-in, which was, I think, added back in 2024, and it's still in preview until now. This feature enhances that add-in and extend the traceability from having just batch numbers or serial numbers and providing you with additional data collection points, and that will enable you to, go beyond into the supply chain. So basically, the idea is that you will create data collection fields, assign those data collection fields to specific companies and activity codes, and then you will enable or disable data collection tracking using those fields. So what are the benefits? Obviously, it enhances the tracing capability of the system. And you can now do a where use search as well based on specific, for example, measurements or machines used in the production line. This capability also helps you identify and address potential issues in the production process, right? So for example, for the lack of a better example, I have you can trace, for example, an impacted instant noodles batch or batches where the batch of noodles were processed in a specific mixer or machinery and at what specific heat temperature, right? So used to be only like, okay, limited to batch number or serial number. Now you have more data collection points that you can add and can be used in tracing and searchability features of the system. All right, so showing you the windows in FNO. So as I mentioned earlier, it has an enhancement to the traceability add-in, which is enabled in the feature management form. Once that feature is enabled, you can then enable the traceability power-up solution, where you then manage the configuration and item searching or use item search in there. So just a glimpse of those. Some of you would have probably seen this, but you can see that they've expanded the features as well. Now, in my example earlier, I mentioned tracing specific batch numbers of instant noodles that were processed in a specific mixer, right? So with this feature, you'd have a mixer ID as a data collection field that is then tracked in the specific production activity, right? Then you can use the find items feature using that specific data collection field, which is mixer ID, right? So for example, you want to find, again, an item or a batch of items that were cooked or processed in a specific mixer. Now, if you see in this form, in the find items function, you can now add filters, right? So you can add filters on activity, and you can add filters via the data collection field. So if you see here, there's a lot actually already available out of the box, like reference type, order number, site, warehouse, location. And then I've specifically added, for example, furnace heat temperature and a mixer ID as well. So when you try to search, for example, what batches or what items use a specific mixer, then you plug in the value like mixer 01. Then it will help you crawl data and then look for those item numbers or batch numbers or serial numbers. So that's it for the traceability enhancements. Now moving on to the next feature in supply chain. Improve picking efficiency with wrist-mounted scanning devices. So this is part of the warehouse management mobile app solution. Now with this feature, warehouse workers can now use the warehouse mobile app via wrist-mounted scanning devices instead of handheld devices. So it can now be used and deployed on wrist-mount devices like those manufactured by ProGlobe and Zebra, right? So what are the benefits? Of course, with this one, the customers who have trialed the solution with Microsoft, they saw a 27% improvement in picking accuracy, which of course resulted to improved productivity. Another benefit here is in terms of reducing injury risk and improving worker satisfaction, right? And again, deployment, because it's a mobile solution, deployment is also quicker now with the enhanced mobile app. So that's all I have for today. Those two new features that I've highlighted are in terms of traceability and wrist-mounted scanning devices. That's all for me today. So I'll